Welcome to this week's Rabbit Holes. Boom shakala. What are we to watch next? That is the question that we always have when you're getting ready to start another series. You've just finished your series, you've watched the show, you've watched, well, nowadays it's only like 6 episodes, 8 episodes. If you're lucky, 10. I come from school when it used to be 26 episodes a season, but I digress. You already know how old I am because of the gray hairs. But we want to hear from you. Let me know if that's the question you ask immediately after finishing a series. It's not a question of, was it good? Did I like it? What did the characters mean? How were they feeling? How were they going? How were they jiving? How were they in the flow and all that? No, you're asking yourself, what am I going to watch next? Right? Because you want to just like you're like you're an addict in that moment. You're like a fiend. You just want to. I need information. I need a new show. I need the feeling. I'm getting alerts here. So again, this is just my second episode. So I'm a little all over the place, just making sure everything is good. All right, it just said to make sure you're good. Yeah, I guess so. So I heard some of your feedback. Thank you guys. I will be adding things to, I guess it's to my studio. It's really just my room. But we'll add some cool stuff back there. You can't really see my cool shirt, but it says Back to the Future. Isn't that pretty cool? Thanks. And my Disney hat. And I got a cool, I don't know if it comes off on the video as green, if you can see the green band. So I got some stuff to make it feel, why I'm TiVoMike. I just love TiVo. I'm telling you, it's a problem. All right. So I thank you very much for that. And thank you guys for your kind comments on the last week's pilot. Let me tell you something. I went to everything was messed up. I thought, oh, just go live. We could do it. I could do a stream. It'll be great. I'll just go and do it. So I log into the website. I'm like, okay, it's YouTube. So YouTube does it all, right? They handle the world. They're Google. So I plug in the information and then I go to go live. And I thought I was going to be on my phone, right? Because it was going to be the video. But then I was like, wait a minute, it's the video. How do I see that it's okay? And I'm like, well, duh, I'm sure it'll be on my monitor and all of that. Anyway, long story short, I can't figure out how to get the phone to go live with the website or whatever. And you got to do one or the other. I don't know. So I didn't do that. So then I have a webcam. So I said, I'll use the webcam. So now I'm using the webcam. But then I couldn't use Safari because I'm an Apple person. Everything's an ecosystem. Then Safari is like it's like that meme with Mariah Carey when she was asked if she knows who Jennifer Lopez is or whether or not there's beef, and she replies, "I don't know her." That's what happened with my Safari. I was going to Safari, going to studios, YouTube site, and all this, and you can do everything else, but then when you go live, it goes, "I don't know her." I'm like, now I got to get another thing, another program to go online with. It's a thing. So all the other streamers that I've been watching all this time as a YouTube viewer, I give even more respect to you guys. You guys make it look way too easy. It isn't. But anyway, back to the thing at hand. So we're asking, what do you watch next? What's the next thing? How do you pick another show? There's 800 shows, right? There's always a new show. There's a movie that, because now we used to have movies called direct to video, and you would go to like Hollywood Video, you'd go to Blockbuster, and you would see these movies for rent that you had never heard of, that never went to the theater. So you were confused. And they were called, no, that's direct to video. Well, now our direct to video is direct to streaming. They call them originals or something. So now you got movies to watch, you got shows to watch, and you try to make some time to watch some TV, and you just don't know. It seems like it's the perpetual question. What do I watch next? So we're asking that this week, and we're going down that rabbit hole. And as you saw from the thumbnail, nice work on the thumbnail, right? Thank you. For Silo, that's the show I'm currently watching next. So I finished watching, what was the last show I finished? Oh my gosh. I can't even remember the last show I ended up watching. It's been so long. Yeah, it's been too long because that's part of the reason I decided to be a great topic to discuss on today's show. I think I'm not the only one, right? There's got to be other people like me out there that you have access to like two or three streaming services and probably two or three more because you will have a login that you share with your friends and family. Am I right? So you just have to find one. So you have the moment where you first sit down, you're like, all right, I have about 2 hours to just relax. Let me go find something to watch. So you go and you're watching, or you're going to um, the app of choice, right? And you're like, okay, let's find something. And you kind of know what you want, but you really don't. Like, you really don't know. You don't know if you want to laugh, cry, be scared. You don't know. You're feeling the feels. And so you're doing everything that we were taught as children not to do, which was you are judging by its cover. So you're, scrolling through the thing and you're like, oh, that looks interesting. And then you read the little description or you hear the music play and it's getting ready to show like a little trailer or something. And you go in and watch the trailer or the scene or the clip or whatever they do. You're like, no, that doesn't quite. Or you're like, oh, that does look good. Maybe we should go do that. So you're like, okay, that's exciting. So then you're like, all right, let's do it. So you go to hit play. You're like, no, never mind. But I don't want to lose it. Um, that's a good show if I can't find anything else. So then you add it to your watch list or whatever the thing is for that. You're right. You hit the plus button, you save as a favorite or whatever, and then you go right back to locating another show. And you're going through. Then you find another one, and it looks pretty good, but it's not quite the same. It's a whole other category. They're not even like if you have just for instance, if you found a comedy to watch, you now look at this and it's not even a comedy. It's a horror. It's a horror show. Who knew that those exist, by the way? I thought horror should be like a movie. But anyway, so a horror show. And then you're like, but now I don't know which one. So you add that one. And then you proceed to keep looking. And then 2 hours later, you have four more shows that you've added to your list. You didn't watch any of them. And now whatever time you had to watch TV is up. So you wait till the next day. Am I the only one? I mean, I can't be the only one who does that. I try to feel like, no, I'm doing right. I'm doing good. I'm going to sit down, maybe watch the show. It's going to be good. No, that's not how it works. Oh, and by the way, the last show that I watched was the one about the air. Oh, what was the guy? It's an Apple TV show uh, with Mahershala Ali. No, is it Mahershala Ali? Or is it the other guy? Yes, Mahershala Ali. Um, wow. Hijack. That is it. Hijack. That's the last show I watched, and I watched it long after they had done it. So I didn't watch like right away, but that was the last one. So now they have a season two. By the way, I have to get back to, and I first watched Silo, which is the show in the thumbnail for this week's episode. I first watched Silo season one. I think it was last year. I can't remember. That's how long it's been. And I've just now started season two. And again, this was long after season two. I think season three is already up. I don't know. And I was like, oh, yeah, I got to get back to Silo because I liked it. And I liked how it ended. I may have spoilers. So if you haven't seen season one yet of Silo, you can click off now or whatever. And if you're ahead of me, you finish season two, please do not spoil it for me. But it ended really good. And I was like, oh, I got to watch season two, which had already aired when I said it to myself. And do you think I'd watch it right away? No. I don't know what it was. I shouldn't have done it. I took a break. I go, yeah, I have enough of Silo. I'm ready to relax. I'll, watch something else. And then I'll come back to Silo. Big mistake. I should have just gone right in. Because by the time I came back to it, a year has passed. I'm not all as into it anymore. It starts very slow. I'm like, you don't need to start slow. You ended on the most high of the boom, the boom shaka of the lie. Boom shaka of the law. Woo. But anyway, it was really good, is my point. It was really, really good. Really, 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 really good. So I just started to watch it, and here's what happened. Here's why I had to talk about it on today's stream. My brother and I love TV. We like watching television. My cousin too, and I'm on the phone with my cousin. And all of us are always into the new shows. And my best friend, we're all into TV. And my best friend will text me, "Oh, watch this show, add this to your list." And my cousin will call me, "Add this show, add it to your list." So everybody's adding these shows to my list. Now, I have most of the weekend, give or take. Church carves out a large portion, but after that, I have the rest of the day, which is why I do this Sundays at 2. I was a little late today, setting up. But Sundays at 2, I have the show. So, but then in the evening, I'll have to watch TV and then Monday go to work, right? So I have time. There's plenty of hours to watch a show, maybe mini shows, and I don't take the opportunity to do it. I even have during the week, most of the time after work, again, when I don't have Bible study, and I'm also working on finishing my book. So there's a book I'm writing. So there's not enough time maybe during the week, but I still have substantial time most of the Saturday and Sunday evening. So my brother and I were having this discussion a while back, and I finally came up with a system. And I think I'm not alone in thinking it's silly that you need a system to watch TV. But for certain people of a certain age, we're used to watching TV the old way, where you had the week and every Monday night at whatever, you had a show. Maybe on Tuesday night, there was another show or 2 shows that you watch, Wednesday, Thursday. Every show had a schedule. You're like, okay. And that's why TGIF was a thing. Remember that? It's Friday night, and the mood is right. We're going to have some fun, show you how it's done. TGIF. Woo! And TGIF was on ABC. It was 4 episodes of different TV shows during the 7 to 9 o'clock hour on Friday nights. And there would be like a mini show that connected the 4 shows in between the shows. And it would be one of the show's actors on the set of their show doing this mini show, So, and they would talk, and like Larry and Balky from Perfect Strangers would be sitting on their couch, and I go, "Hello, tonight. Okay, let's get started with Full House or whatever." And then after Full House, all right, that was crazy Aunt Becky, got into some trouble, but we'll move on. It's like that. It's like that journalist who was talking to Elon Musk. Let's move on. Sorry. Anyway, and it would announce the next show. So you didn't have to wonder, what do I watch next? What do I see? What you ask yourself, instead of what am I going to watch, you ask yourself, well, what day is it? And then the day told you what to watch. Wednesday, you're watching Law and Order. Tuesday, you're watching Quantum Leap. Monday, you're watching Melrose Place. Thursday, you're watching Seinfeld. You just knew what it was by the day. Saturday mornings, you're watching cartoons. Like, it was very easy. Well, now we're all in the new thing. We're on the 2026 of it all. And there's still TV. There's still cable. But now there's streaming networks. And then there's the cable networks on streaming. It's too much. It's too much freedom. It's too much freedom. And I think what's happening when we have to discover what's next is we as a society, I think, and again, maybe it's just me, but I like to think I'm not all that unique, that we're used to barriers and, confines and schedules. And we're very, routine, rigid people where it's like, oh, I don't need to think about that too. Life is going on. By the time I'm done with work, I want to relax. I want to veg out. And instead, now I've got to become my own television network and schedule the TV block, And if you realize anything about TV, the TV executives, they make millions of dollars a year scheduling a TV block because it is important. And there's competition on it. And I realized these network executives have somehow passed on their workload, their job to us and make us pay for it. Because that's really what it is. So take Silo. Here I am starting season 2, only a few episodes in, but it's been months. I should be done with the season. It's only but 10 episodes. But what happens is the real issue is I don't want to dedicate a lump of time to watching TV. So I guess what it is they always say that people have like, short attention spans. Is that you? Is that what you have? Because I don't ever think when they say that, when they, the elusive they, some people say, but you know what I mean? The studies and the people that run those things, they say, oh, the new generation, we don't have, attention spans that are, basically longer than a goldfish's memory. And I go, no, we really do. We do. But then here I am thinking, maybe I don't. Because when I sit down to watch a TV show, I want to pay attention. So I don't know about, well, that's another rabbit hole we'll go down another day. I'll talk about Netflix in a moment or in another show. But I like to sit and watch the show. I don't want to have it on in the background. And like, that's a weird thing. So I want to sit down and watch a show. But then I also want to do other things on my phone. I want to get some work done. I want to go onto social media. I want to write some notes for my book. I want to text my friends and family, whatever it is. I want to do this, but I also want something on. So I dismiss and discount all the movies, all the shows that are in my watch list. I don't watch any of them. None of them. I'm like, done. But I give more time to other things that I could have used and got through my entire list. I should write out my watch list and put it on my, what do I have? I have one of those Substacks now. I should probably put out my Substack as a post one day of all the shows that I have to get through. And I'm like, I don't want to watch that right now. Because if I watch that right now, that's an hour long and I can only watch that. And I also want to get this work done on the side. But if I put that on, I can't get any work done because I'll miss what's going on in the show. So it's this whole thing. It's a mess. It's a mess. I can't be the only one, am I? Like, if that's you, please let me know. Put that in the comments, whatever. Hit like if I nailed it there, because that's really the issue. I think we have great quality shows. We have a lot of shows that are real quality that we're pretty blessed and lucky, I think, as a society to have. But those shows don't necessarily get multiple seasons because the viewers aren't there. And then by the time I end up watching one of them, it's 7 or sometimes longer years after the show already aired. I'm discovering it, and then I'm mad to find out there's not a season 3 or not a season 2. And it's like, well, if I would have watched it when it happened, when it premiered, I would have contributed to the views. They would have kept it because they said, oh, it's a great show, and then we'd have it. But because they've also trained us to be our own scheduling network in our lives, that there's not a real schedule to watch it, and then to feel the sense of community, we watch them later. So, like, the networks are losing, the production companies are losing, and the viewers, we're losing, even though this is a time when you have a lot of wonderful shows that you can watch. But by lack of consistency, everything really stays behind. And I think that's plaguing the question what to watch now. So what ends up happening, if you're like me, tell me if I'm the only one here, if I'm out on a limb with Shirley, is when you are finished, you actually finished a season of a show, you feel momentarily pleased, right? You're like, oh, I got through it. But it almost feels like accomplishment versus you just enjoyed an experience. It's more like yeah, I plowed through that season, and it's a sense of accomplishment because it took some doing, right? You had to schedule, you had to find the time, you had to tell everybody to be quiet, you had to watch the show, you had to pay attention to the show, you got rewarded for paying attention to the show if it ended up being a good show, and you're like, you're done, but you don't jump right to the next show because in a way you're drained because it took more energy from for some reason to watch the show, so you feel like you need a break. But then you go and take your break, and the break is months before you stick on a new show. And instead, you log into one of your 9 million um, streaming apps that either you have or a friend or family has, and they share the login with you. Um, Even though, of course, we don't do that anymore. You find a show you've already watched a million times, and you throw that on. You watch a movie you've seen a million times, or you put on the YouTube app because now YouTube has, well, not now, but a long time for a long time, YouTube has an app for your smart TVs or your Apple TV devices if you have it, or your Chrome, whatever you have, and you'll start watching YouTube, and you'll just watch something silly, some kind of ranking video, the best movies of 2025, or the best video games, or whatever, or how to really clean your toilet. I'm not the only one who watches those shows, right? How to clean your toilet properly. No? Okay. That's probably the only one. But no, I can't be the only, because they have like a million views. Or the videos where the guy goes, I think he's in Australia, and he goes and unclogs drains in the public streets. Oh, so that's so satisfying. It's so satisfying. Uh, and you end up watching that stuff because you're like, well, this show I don't have to pay attention to. And you can then spend time watching something else, or taking notes, or being on the phone, or whatever. All the things Netflix says uh, is the reason why they write the shows the way they write it, because they want you to be able to do that while you're watching their shows. But I can't do that watching Netflix. If I turn on Netflix, it's because I'm getting ready to watch a real show. I think it would be different if I turned on Netflix and I found a show that I really didn't care about then to watch. But I don't know. There's something about having to pay the $99 million a month for the Netflix subscription that makes me not see it as background TV. That's what my YouTube is for. Because with Netflix, I'm like, oh, I'm getting ready to treat myself. I'm getting ready to watch a movie I heard was great, or a new series I'm going to sit down and watch. And yes, Netflix, after 3 episodes, yes, I'm still here watching. Huh. Like y'all care, you know? Oh, we want it to be on in the background, but we also want to make sure that you're watching. Make up your mind. So makes me so irritated. That's another pet peeve. Uh, Sorry, every time I think of my pet peeve, I had a brother in Christ. His name is Kevin, and he would always say, Is that another pet peeve?" And he would just like really enunciate. Is that your pet peeve? So now every time I say pet peeve, I think of Kevin. anyway, so it's a pet peeve of mine, right? So it's like, just you don't know what to watch all the time. And then you do know what to watch because you know what you've added to your list. You know, every time you go on to your Apple TV, it tells you what's next. You don't really want that though. It almost feels like homework. And I think that's the real issue, I think, is what has happened is it's made us feel like TV viewing is that I want to yeah, is now homework. Like it feels tedious. And then it has to be really good. See, and then it's almost unfair. This is a good point if I make it myself. But it feels, and now it's almost unfair because now the show has to be really good. It just can't be, it's got to be really good because now you're making me pay attention for the hour. You mean I can't just put you on like in the background and watch because we don't have any nice, sitcoms anymore where it's nice at 30 minutes. It's really short and it's funny and right to the point. No, it's you. It's too much change too quickly. Last week I was saying how we know too much about TV and movies on how it's made. Now we know too much about, well, that show sounds good, but it's on the wrong network. I don't have that streaming service. I have to now get one or subscribe to it or remember to get rid of it because now I need to get the new one to watch the new show. Wait, what network is the new show on? Well, it's a Peacock show, but it's not free on Peacock because you have to get it through the Netflix. If you inverse it to the Disney Plus and you calibrate it to the Netflix account, it's too much to glory. So here is my help to the world that I had a few weeks ago, or maybe it's a few months ago now, when I was talking to my brother, which is I've not done anything new. The Bible says there's nothing new under the sun, right? I've now taken it full force. I now given myself a schedule. And it's funny because I used to do that when I was a kid. Every year you'd see in the summer what new shows are going to come out that fall. And you made, if you're a TV nerd like me, you made your schedule of, wow, oh, they're going to have a new show called what? It's going to be on CBS. It's going to be every Friday night. Okay, I'm going to watch that. Oh, that show is going to be made with who? And it's going to be on what time, on what day, what network? Oh, I'm going to watch that. Well, I'm now doing that with myself. So I'm taking only one show, though, because I don't want to go too I don't want to overload myself, and then I feel like I let myself down. So right now, it's at one show. It seems like you're not going to make any progress. But if you think about it, one show per week, that's 52 episodes like I can get through in a year without even blinking. The year is going to pass anyway. And if I wait till, well, when do I have 8 hours to watch a full show series? No. So instead, what I've done is I've decided Sunday evenings for 1 hour, I'm going to have TV viewing. And right now, that show is Silo. And what it is doing, and I have to be honest, there is a downside to this. The downside is Silo season 2 is really slow. And I'm only watching one episode per week. So I give myself one episode, then I cut it off, and then I see, do I feel like watching another episode? And normally I don't. And then I want to go right back to putting it on YouTube, being back on my phone and everything else. But I feel like I got it done. But now I'm realizing now I've got to be really selective. I've already started Silo, so I've got to finish it. But it better be good. It better pick up. It better become better in the season. My brother said he started season 3, I believe. It's got to be good because now I got to be extra careful what to add to my watch list. Because now I know I'm only going to watch one show per week for 1 hour. So it's now got to be really good. So it's actually very fun. So what I've done, and tell me if you guys have made your own traditions with this. So for me, here's my tradition to help you with what's next. You find the show, for me it's Silo, but let's just pretend I'm not watching Silo yet. Let's say I finished Silo. Here's what you do, because everyone has this. Officially or unofficially, you know of at least 3 shows or movies that your friends or your family, the ones you trust, I'm talking about the ones who have a different taste than you, the ones who thinks that movie was good and that movie was horrible. You know what I mean? And you have at least 3 kind of in your head. Don't get overwhelmed by the whole list. There's 100, there's all these new shows, and there's all, don't get all caught up in that. So instead, just think of those 3 shows and then decide, okay, of these 3, which is most likely to go from feeling like homework to I'm going to actually enjoy it versus am I just watching it so I can finally watch it so I can finally talk to my friends and family about it who've been wanting me to watch it, right? So you find one that's actually you think is going to be the most exciting. So now you pick that show, but you pick it based on what day you have available and how long you have. So for instance, let's say, you have a weird day, Tuesday night at, what's a good time? Dinner time, 6 o'clock. You have Tuesday to 6 free. Well, you shouldn't pick at that point, most likely, a comedy. Don't pick a comedy. Why? Because Tuesday ain't nothing funny. Because you're at work, the start of the week, you ain't trying to laugh. You're trying to get through the week. Now, you might be thinking, oh, no, I need to kind of, blow off some steam by having a good comedy show. No, 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 no. You need a show that's really gritty. To remind you, your life ain't that gritty, right? It's Tuesday. Now, Friday, more things that can take you overnight that you can think about. So if you know Friday night is when you have free to watch a movie or a show, now you can pick up to 2 shows most likely because there's nothing you have to get up early for on Saturday. Plus, getting up on Saturday, if you liked what you watched Friday night, if it was really good and it was addictive, you can start it right up and go to give yourself more episodes to start the day with because you're not having to wait for it because it's the weekend. You see what I'm saying? So kind of let your schedule be your guide. Let it help you and literally start to see yourself the way network executives are. Here's the slate of shows. Here are the days of the week. Here are the times. Like you're building your own network. So for me, it's like Michael Network. You're building you network, right? And you're just your own network, but you only give yourself one show, one day, one time slot. So 1 episode, once a week, and 1 time slot. Now, the reason that's so powerful, I think, and let me know if you guys agree, because some people might not agree. They would say, no, I want more than that. I want to get through more. You could always add more, but it's really negative to take it away, right? So start with just 1, but here's what's great. You may go, you know what? I actually can do it every single night. I can give myself every night at 6 o'clock. Good. But first, just keep it to the 1 show. So that way, you're actually getting through. Because what we're trying to do is we're trying to forget we have a backlog of shows to get to. You're not really needing to search around for an hour or 2, wonder what to watch next. You really already know what to watch. We already know what to watch. We just don't want to commit to it. It's that word. I don't want to commit to the show right now. So what you're really doing is you're looking for something quick and fast to watch that you kind of like, oh, that's kind of neat. And you don't know what you're really looking for. You think you're looking for like a one-off. Maybe it's just a quick movie. And then you end up finding like, it doesn't work for us. We're living proof that it doesn't work. And meanwhile, great shows lose viewers. It doesn't get renewed. And the cycle continues, right? So you pick 1 show. So even if you've determined like, you know what, I can actually do every night at dinner. I can do 6 o'clock every night. That's 5 nights. Monday through Wednesday, Friday, whatever. But still pick the same show so that you're getting through the show every night. And, again, these, new streaming series are maybe 4, 6, 8, 10 at most episodes for the whole season. So in 2 weeks, you're done. And now you're starting to get through your log faster. That's how you have to think about it. And then you come to another conclusion, like I did, which is I gave myself only Sunday, only 1 evening, and only 1 time slot for 1 episode. And I thought when I did that a few weeks ago, I was going, I'll probably add more. No, that's it. Because what I'm really finding out is I have to go through my watch list and actually remove shows. There are some shows I generally have no desire to watch. I was only going to watch it because my friend's watching it, my brother's watching it, my cousin's watching it, whatever. No, I'm going to watch the shows that I want to watch, and it's letting me know, I really don't like that type of series the way I thought I did. I don't really like those kind of movies. I thought I would like it because now, like I said, the pressure's on. I only have 1 show that's going to get any attention every week, and it's got to be good. And Silo ain't cutting it. I'm sorry. Listen, they did a great thing, season 1. It's a slow burn of a show, but it picked up, and it was still intriguing enough. It got my curiosity going, but then it's like they're starting over with season 2. Like, I guess that's another rabbit hole, right? But when you continue the show, once you've gotten past what you're going to watch and you've chosen your show, and you're in the 2nd season, the 3rd season, maybe if you're lucky enough to get to a 3rd, don't you get irritated when they feel like they're starting over? Well, could they waited 3 to 4 years to do another season? So in the way they are, but it's like, did you guys not watch yourselves previously on Silo? Like, you could keep going, you could run. Like season 2, episode 1 should have been like it should have been incredible. It should have been like off. Oh, what's the phrase? Off the roof. I don't know what the new slangs are for this. With the kids, they're like, well, there's whether something's cooking or on fire or something. I don't know, but it's like it should work. It should be like, go for it. Go do the thing. Go do the thing. Go do the thing. Go do the thing. I'm like, it can't be that difficult, and especially that you guys are only doing 8 hours. Like, do a series, do it over the course of however long y'all are recording it, and then have the schedule for the next year. Just say, okay, guys, we're going to shoot back again next February, and we're just going to keep shooting these every February. Like, just have it instead of having to start new. It feels like it's the characters forgot, the actors forgot their character, the character forgot what they were doing. I know more of that than they do. And then they're like starting again. It's like watching a new pilot. And it just feels like it doesn't pick up and just run. Like, just run. Run. The Bible says, if you have a vision, make it plain so that he who reads it may run. You know what I mean? So just go, 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 go. And again, spoiler alert for season 1 of Silo, the finale. The woman gets out of the silo. This whole thing that you think you're going to die. No one can leave the silo. If you leave the silo, it's not good. She leaves the silo. It doesn't look good. Then all of a sudden, the camera, everyone else has been taking their mask off, their what's it called, their astronaut suit off, and all that. And then instead, she goes, no, I'm leaving that sucker on. So everybody else who took it off died. She discovered that when you had the mask on and looking at the outside, it wasn't bleak like, an apocalyptic event had happened. The way you can see it through when you're inside the silo through their window, you can see the outside world. It looks horrible, looks desolate. But when she had the masking on, she made it outside. It looks beautiful. It looks like there's trees. It looks like the Garden of Eden. Okay, it looked beautiful. Greens were the most green you could ever green. The blue flowers are more blue than blue could ever blue. It was boom shakalaka. And the realization was, oh my gosh, they've been lying to us. I don't need this stinking oxygen tank thing. I can take it off because the air is clear again, right? And then they would take off the mask and then suck in the bad thing because they could see that it is desolate, it is toxic, and those suckers die. Like right away. That's what everybody would do. They would all die. Well, she kept it on because she realized what I'm seeing through this monitor on this mask is false. And it's something else. She figures it out. I think she moved past like the radius of the stream and can then see, oh, it's bleak. It is still out here. It's toxic. Don't take this off. But the camera pans out, and here, remember, everybody, the whole society lives in a silo. It looks like a big, like a sewer cap, but that it can turn and lid and lock, and people live underground. Well, it backs up, and you see hundreds of silos in this vast desert-looking, desolate area, and then straight ahead looks like some imperial city, skyscrapers, and all that, like far in the distance. Oh my gosh, there's other silos, there's other societies, and there's 5 people over there in that tower stuff. So that's how they ended it. So I was like, this is going to be great. So season 2, where are we at? We're down in another silo. We have another character we don't know who he is. I don't care why he is. That's so stupid. And then she's there and her thing rips and now she got to repair it. It's and actually wants to go back to the previous silo, just break into the silo or something to tell people, hey, they lied to us. There's other silos, but it's also not conducive to come out. So what would be the point? Like, what do you want to, like, why are we back inside? All you had to do was stay out with your thing and keep just walking, and you'd find the new. Hold on, sorry, there we go. And you would find everything. Like, just do it. It's not a. It's just so painstakingly slow. And I am someone who doesn't mind a slow burn series, and I really don't. there's lots of shows that I'll watch that other people think not only just are slow but boring, but I get really into it. This is like it's pulling me out, and I'm like, it's getting to the point where Sunday nights I'm not looking forward to finishing the show. But my brother says no, it does get good, it gets better. So I'm enduring. I'm enduring the now to get to the glory. And I'm wondering if that's the right thing. Is that what you guys do too? Do you think, or do you, when you have a show that you are like stumbling to get through, do you just cut it off? Or if your friend or family, whoever recommended it to you, says, oh no, it gets better, do you stay with it? Because I think I'm going to have, starting after Silo, I think I'm going to have a new checklist of, I don't want to hear, if a show is bad but gets good, it doesn't make my list, or at least it'll be at the bottom of my list. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to. It's different when you had real TV. It was Wednesday night. You would watch whatever show it was. If that episode wasn't particularly good, you were like, okay. I mean, it was just one show out of many, and you have other things to do. But you kind of know it every week. This is different. You're watching a show and you have no idea, is it going to get good? Then, if the other thing is true about another rabbit hole, if you have a show that is good, you're enjoying it, you're getting into it. These characters are fully fleshed out, fully formed people. It feels real, and you're moving forward in it. And then you're watching it, and you're falling in love with these characters. Then you go, it's not. I don't know. I don't know. It feels too good. They're gonna mess it up. They're gonna mess it up. Right? You feel that feeling. But then, let's say it surprises you and you don't get that feeling because it doesn't get bad. It stays good. It goes from good and then better and then good and then better. And you're like, it's so good. And then the finale, and you're like, and it leaves like on some kind of cliffhanger. You're like, yes, dun dun dun. You're like, hey, next year, baby. And then you Google the thing, because that's what we all do. We all become researchers. We Google it, and we Google when does season 2 premiere, right? When the season whatever, and then you hear the AI answer at the top of the Googler, and it was like, that show was canceled by the network. Da 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 da. You're like, you canceled a good show? What? But Big Brother is on 89? Oh, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I could prove. Oh, don't get me started on that. It gets so irritating. But that's the thing, right? So we have hold on, I'm looking at the thing. To make sure I brought up every piece of this thing about Silo. Any other? Okay, yes. So you feel like you have the rug pulled out from under you because you're like, well, this is not fair. I got into the show. It was a good show. It was a great show. Great characters. The characters did things that made sense. The director directed. The screenwriter screenwrote. The producer produced. The actor acted. Everyone did their thing. And you're doing your job. And the people that are supposed to renew didn't renew. I don't like that. I don't like it at all. There was a show you can check back on our TiVoMike show, the podcast that me and my best friend did. And he's big on Twitter. His handle is EGMike84. And he follows everybody on Twitter, X or whatever it's called. It doesn't matter. And he's on that thing. So he starts tweeting like in real time, whatever that's called, like reaction. I guess they're like reactions in real time to the people on the internet, on the Twitter. And he starts getting attention. So people are responding to people who run the TV shows, official accounts, some actors and all that. So the guy who created No Good Nick is tweeting my friend Mike. So Mike comes to me. We're like, okay, we're going to do a show. We got to watch this new show on Netflix called No Good Nick. And I said, okay, well, no good, Nick. Watch. He goes, well, it's a sitcom. I don't really watch sitcoms anymore. That's just a lie. It's the biggest lie. What was I saying? Well, I was parroting the ecosystem bubble of all these, people that watch streaming shows or whatever. And now we're done with sitcoms. Sitcoms are passe. I like the sitcom. What was I? As words are leaving my mouth, I couldn't believe it. I said, I don't even believe what I'm saying. I go, no, I'll watch it. It's no good, Nick. Okay, it's on Netflix. And it had Melissa Joan Hart. It's great. So we jump into the show. I'm watching it. And I didn't think I was going to like this particular thing because when he was telling me what it's about, it was a little convoluted, to be frank. But it's a sitcom, and I like a sitcom. And it's only 20-something minutes, right? You can give that. And I'm watching it, and it's actually a really, really well done sitcom. Like, really good. But do I recommend it to watch? No. I mean, yes, but no. You know why? No, because they freaking canceled the show. It is so irritating. It was such a good show. I didn't like how much, and I think when I got 4 or 5 episodes in, I think that's when Mike told me they had canceled it. So we were blessed enough to get the creator of the show on our podcast, and we interviewed him. And he, at that time, it was canceled. They were just waiting to hear if they were going to be picked up for season 2. And we were trying to, along with the creator, we were trying to promote it, like, to our tens and tens of viewers, to our tens and tens of people in our audience. Anyway, so, oh boy, hope springs eternal. Anyway, so we were putting it out there. Watch this show. Watch it. It's really, really good. I mean, it really was good. And then Netflix, they didn't do it. But yet they'll give us, that last season of Stranger Things. But anyway, I'm moving on. But it's irritating, but it's because of this. You have on Netflix a sitcom, and it did have like a convoluted, what's that called when they have like a pitch? Like what it's about, like, your elevator pitch, right? Well, what's it about? I'm like, well, it's about this kid who goes to live with this family because her father got arrested, but then she is like, working with the dad to like steal from the family or something, but it's all good. It's like, wait, what? It's too much. It's too much, right? But you don't need to know what's about. Stop worrying about what's about. Instead, just go, oh, what is it? No good, Nick. What's it about? It's about a sitcom. Just turn it on. Let the sitcom pilot tell you, right? So, like, that's the new way to do it. But the reason it doesn't work the way, like we're mentioning here in our discussion, is because of our behavior patterns. So this is another example on how a good show doesn't work today. Because think about what has to happen for a show to get renewed. The same thing it needed to do before in the old pattern. The show needs to get an audience. It needs to be talked about, and it needs to get good ratings, right? So then the people who write the checks say, oh, it's worth going again, and then again, and again, and again. Well, now that all of us are, in fact, our own de facto network, and we can watch it whenever, there is no urgency to the show. I think we didn't watch No Good Nick until, I think it was several months after they had done it. I think they did it in 2 parts. So I think they had finished part 2 before we watched the show. I think Mike probably watched a little sooner than me, and I had to get caught up. Whatever it was, we were not watching it in real time. And that told Netflix all they needed to know. But it seems weird to say, well, but they had a year, and it didn't get, if it didn't get an audience within a year, that's not good. No, that's not how life is. We all know this, right? Tell me if I'm wrong in the comments. But how many shows have you discovered, not 1 year, but like I said at the beginning, several years after the show ended, let alone like they're still going, and then you found this great show because there's no urgency. So the good shows, you almost don't know what to watch next, because if it's a good show, you don't want to watch it if you find out, oh, they only have 1 season, which means I'm going to get invested. It's not going to be good. or it had lots of seasons, but now I feel overwhelmed to have to sit down and get caught up on 9 seasons. So there's a show that I have on my watch list. It has 19 seasons. 19. Like I think it's like 20 episodes a season. And I genuinely want to watch this show. But I'm like 19 seasons. But if I had started this several years ago when I started adding it to the list, I would be through with the show now. So you almost don't know what to do. So really, when we answer the question, and this kind of brings it home. So thank you for watching this with me. And again, if you could share this, your thoughts in the comments, that'll be great. But what it really comes down to when we are really saying, what do we watch next? You're really doing it in two separate silos to bring it full circle to the topic. It is like there's your list that you want to get caught up on and go catch up on and go see. And the second silo is what's currently going on right now. Because that's really what you're asking. Because I think part of us, what we want is to feel connected, even if it's, digitally with everyone else. It's like you want to know you're not the only one watching this right now. You want to know I'm watching it, but millions of other people are watching it. I think that's what made Game of Thrones before season 8, episode 3 and on. Before that, that's what made that so exciting. Is you had to watch. You didn't wait till Game of Thrones season 8's there. Okay, I'll wait till after they're done, and I'll probably get to it maybe next year. No, you got to it Sunday at whatever time it came on, 9:00, and you were there at 8:55, refreshing, refreshing that app. Click the thing, click the thing, click the thing, to watch that episode live with the world. And then right after, everybody tweeted or posted or texted their friends, and oh my gosh, because it was like exciting. So because we know that doesn't happen very often now, it's like, well, there's no rush to it. So then we watch all the crazy regular things that can be on in the background, which leads us to people watching weird things on the Talk Tick and the Snapchats and the Instagrams and the Facebooks and the YouTubies and all that, because what's really going on. And I think that's why Hollywood, in a sense, we talked about it last week, and again, it's kind of carrying over because we know a little bit too much about them. We know too much of their business model that we feel invested for them. Or some of us are bad for them. Some of us are like, good, they're going down the tubes. But ultimately, what do? They've given us a system by which we can watch anything at any time, but then they need their investors. They need their executives. They need their people that they owe their allegiance to with the money people, to get their money now. They're like, you spent $100 million on a show and a movie now. We need $100 million plus now, not whenever people get to it. So it's like, what do? They've got to full circle. They have to go back to the old pattern. You need a scheduled show at a scheduled time when the world watches, and then let the remaining episodes go to streaming. So maybe I should do it like this. Maybe I should put it on. I'll put like a thing in the comments to get your take on it. But would you be willing to tell Hollywood, hey, go back? I know this sounds bad, but go back the way you used to do it. But, hybrid for the streaming. Basically, have a show and say, when we do a show, we're no longer releasing full seasons, including Netflix. Okay, including Netflix. Unless it's like no exceptions. Even Netflix. You say there was no more of the all at once. And Netflix and all the other streaming services can still win, because even if a show still only wants to be 6 or 10 or whatever episodes, just now have another show always on, right? Instead of having to have 9 million new shows, just have maybe you always have 10 shows going on or whatever it is. But to say, here's the new show that's coming on, and you can only watch the show that you missed maybe like 3 days after, something like that. Like up to whatever it is, like up to a day or 3 days. That's it. Then it's not available to watch until the season ends. I know. People are like, what? Exactly. I know it sounds harsh. And you gotta you because now what it does is it's going to make the networks, it makes them make sure the show will be a quality show because now they've got to get you to watch live. And we're not even stressing too much live, just within 72 hours live, or in a live window. It's live or within a short window of 3 days, where you have to watch the show. And you can't watch that show after. It's not available. It won't be available until after the season ends. And then it's only available after the season ends a month or 2 or 3 months after it ended, before it even gets put on. So now there is no, I'll get to it whenever, like I got to get to it now. So two things, it will slow down their content machine, but they'll still be able to have new shows on every month. You see what I'm saying? But not at that crazy volume with that crazy money they have to invest. And it allows them to do more of quality because now they're like, the selling point needs to be not only is this show, do we market it well, but it's got to actually be a really good show to tell people you have to watch it within 3 days. Every episode. Like, it's got to be good. So it forces everybody to be on the same track. And now we're all watching good shows. And this way, when the good show really is a good show, the audience is there and they have that feedback. They can approve it for the next season. And now they got to be consistent. If you aired this episode, this season in May, and it went through like end of June or mid-June, then it's going to come back next May. And it's every May. Like, train us in this new digital streaming age to still have it scheduled in this way. And now we're getting better shows. Y'all are having to invest less money. And we get the camaraderie of being able to talk about it with the millions, if not, maybe even billions of people around the world who are watching the show at the same time. And everyone's winning. And we're actually taking advantage of the fact that we can watch TV on practically anywhere. And we have all the social media to connect with fans of the show. Wouldn't that be great? And imagine these straight to digital movies even doing the same thing. Been like, all right, it's going to be Friday night. This sucker's going to air. And then it's going to go until Monday. And it's going to cut off. And it won't be available until, a month later when it gets dropped and then it's part of our library. Because again, that lets us know, oh my gosh, a new movie started. Yeah, I know it's going to be there a month later, but when it's there a month later, now we know, but we're not going to talk about the people live and have that kind of fun experience. We're not going to know for sure how good it is because we're going to watch it later at our own schedule, but if we're watching the movie by ourselves, and that doesn't really help us psychologically. And now we missed out. See what I'm saying? Like, it helps. It's like it brings the experience that we all kind of want to have. What's the point of social media? And what's the point of us being able to talk about, oh my gosh, you just saw a show, and then we got to say spoiler alert to a show that's 4 seasons ago. You know what I mean? Because we all we don't like that either. And then when we are getting ready to watch a show, we're like, oh, now someone already said about the ending, but that was a 2-year-old show, but it's my fault for not getting to it. I think that would solve the world's problem. There's our pattern, our view of, our view of watching. I think that would help. Am I the only one thinking this way, or do you guys feel that way too? Because I really think this would change the way we watch TV, and I think everyone would win. Again, not to continue what we did last week of us knowing too much about Hollywood, although I am a nerd for that, I do like it. But as much as we do know about Hollywood, I think that would solve a majority of their problems. They're not having to push all that money out. We're getting to see our movies and TV with friends and family. It will be wonderful because it creates everything as an event. There's a schedule, there's an urgency to watch it live, or at least within a condensed window of time. And now you bet you got 3 days to watch that before the world collectively has moved on and you risk having spoilers coming out. I think that'll be good. having shows and having for every day of the week, not just a Thursday or whenever these things release. Start having those things again, even as a streaming service. Hey, this show is going to premiere on Apple TV every Monday at 5, every Monday at 9, or whatever it is. And it's going to be up for 32 hours or 72 hours. And then it's not going to be available until after the season is complete, 1 month after that. I think, and before they go, oh, but then the people can't watch. That's a great time for you to watch all the other stuff on that network or that streaming service to get caught up on, to go to watch that show. And now you've learned your lesson. It's only take one time for us to miss something exciting for us to go, oh, we've now kind of rebuilt our society shared collective moment of watch TV together on. So I think that'll help. So what are we watching next? You already know. First pick, are you watching something live, or are you going to watch live, meaning like the show is relatively new, or are you going to go to your list and either officially or unofficially, you have a list that you're finally going to get to. And two, now that you figured out which silo to pick, give yourself a schedule. What day of the week and what time slot do you want to dedicate to just watch a TV where you're not on your phone, you're not cleaning the house, you're not going to the store, you're not at the gym, whatever it is? Which ones do you want? And then if you do that, we are plugged in. We'll all collectively get through our lists, and and we'll praise the Lord. We'll have a good. I think it's a win-win, really. But who knows? It's just my opinion. I could be wrong. I was wrong once in 1991. So be sure to hit like and subscribe. I would appreciate it. I want to thank the 3 new subscribers I've gotten since last week. It means a lot to me. You guys rock. And remember, here's my tagline to the end. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you next Sunday. And until then, don't be afraid to go down a few rabbit holes.